Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And it appears that South Wales Police don't really like lesbians. In Cardiff, there was a gay pride march yesterday, and a group of lesbians who were holding up banners and complaining that they didn't like trans men claiming to be lesbians because they weren't lesbians, they were straight men with a fetish, were asked by police to leave and move along and get out of the way. Police were moving lesbians out of the way at an LGBT Pride march. They're the L, remember. Anyway, we'll look at this article and see what the hell's going on. So, police remove lesbians from a gay pride march in Cardiff. At the moment when officers tell gender-critical women they have to leave LGBT march due to confrontation with trans groups and their supporters. You know, the mentally ill. So police removed the lesbians from a pride march in Cardiff due to this confrontation. An officer told anti-trans lesbian activist group Get the L Out UK to step aside. A clip showed a lesbian and a man shouting at each other in the road. So they removed these lesbians from the LGBT march because they didn't want the confrontation. They were saying, oh, it's confrontational. Now, someone ought to point out that being confrontational is not a crime and protest is perfectly legal. So obviously one can only draw the conclusion that the police are anti-lesbian. So Get the L Out UK, a lesbian activist group that stands against transgenderism, shared footage from yesterday's Cardiff Pride event. In the clip, a lesbian and transgender woman or man can be seen shouting at each other at St Mary Street during the LGBT march. The police officer can be heard saying to the women that their group is causing confrontation between different groups of people. But that's what people do. In every position, every day, there are confrontations between people. It doesn't mean the law has been broken, because no law has been broken. And there's the face of Cardiff Police. This is the young childlike embryo fetus of a policeman who hates lesbians. The group were holding banners that said trans activism erases lesbians and lesbians don't like penises. And of course, this is one of the defining characteristics of lesbians, is that penises are not very high on their wish list. I'm sure they don't object to other people having penises or other ladies enjoying penises. They just choose to go a different way. He said in the video, at the moment, your march, this group of people is causing confrontation between different groups of people. Yes, that's right, because they are being confrontational. The whole point of protest is to confront the issues. Women are then heard replying, we're lesbians and it's Cardiff Pride. The police officer replies saying, whatever you are, at the moment is causing a confrontation. That's not an issue. I quite good at that. Lesbians don't like penises. Fine. Trans activism erases lesbians. And of course, on this one, the hashtag cotton ceiling is R. And then lesbian, not queer. Get the L out. And there they are. And this, they basically what they're saying is they want the right to be lesbians, and they don't want trans activism foisted upon them. Because what's happening is that if you were a lesbian and a trans man, you know, a man who pretends to be a woman, wants to sleep with you, and you refuse, you know, on the very sort of simple reasoning that you're a lesbian and like women, and he's a man and has a male body, and I mean functionally male below the waist, they're not actually interested in sleeping with you. So here we go. He adds, to make sure you're safe, we're going to remove you from the road. A woman replies stating, I want to make sure I understand that you're removing lesbians from an LGBT march. The officer confirms that, yes, that's what I'm doing. For safety, for your safety, for other people's safety. That's why I'm doing it. And the woman replies saying, you should be able to protect lesbians in a pride march. Now, here's the thing. If he was so worried about their safety, why didn't he march alongside them to ensure their safety, rather than remove their right to free protest, their right to free speech, their right to explain and let people know what their views are. No, no, no. He was cancelling them. He was cancelling these lesbians because he is probably an anti-lesbian. He's someone who, let's say, has a view on transgenderism that is at odds with the majority, put it that way. He's obviously a fellow traveller in the trans community, I suspect. But there we are. We're going to get to that point where lesbians are no longer welcomed by the police, which is odd. It's odd that they would do that. Anyway, I'm going to come up and round off. It seems odd that these mentally ill men who want to cancel lesbians and yet strangely are so enamoured with lesbians, because most of these men who transmogrify themselves into ladies are actually straight men. That is to say, they may put a bit of lippy on, throw a frock on and call themselves Susan, but they don't want actually to have relations, shall we say, with a man as a woman. They want to be a woman, but they still want to sleep with other women. So they want to become lesbians themselves. But real lesbians sort of look at those manly bodies and they look down at the junk and they say, no, sorry love, not for me. And then the mentally ill men go, oh, but that's transphobia. No, it's not. They're just not interested in what you have got. Mostly, of course, the main reason they're not interested in what you've got is because what you've got is a mental illness that can't be cured no matter how much makeup you slap on your face. It's a funny old world, isn't it? Anyway, if you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, fight the world, brothers and sisters, and goodbye.